So you've revised the cases, memorized the principles, but your marks still aren't where you want them to be? In this video, I'm going to walk you through 3 of the most common mistakes that law students make in their exams, and more importantly, how you can avoid them. So, mistake number 1 is writing everything you know without actually answering the question. Now, a lot of students make the mistake of just describing the legal theory or the legal principles and just listing cases without actually applying those to the facts that they've been given in their exam. Now, the problem with that way of answering is it turns your answer into more of a mini textbook than it does an actual legal answer. And you want your answers to look like a legal analysis rather than a legal textbook. Instead, what you can do is to use the IRAC method, which we have run through in detail in another video. You want to identify the issue, you want to state the relevant rule or case, you want to apply it to the scenario in front of you, and then you want to have a clear conclusion. So if your question is about negligence, don't just define what duty of care is. Instead, you want to explain why the defendant did or didn't owe a duty of care in this particular scenario, in this particular exam. Now, mistake number 2 that students often make is to skim the scenario and miss key details. Now, in problem questions, every single word matters. So maybe that mention of a slippery floor or the fact that someone is a minor, all of those little details could be absolutely essential to your argument when you're answering the question. If you miss some of those key details, you could well be missing out on some extra marks. So how can you avoid missing the details in the scenario? Well, one thing that you could do is to read the scenario twice before you start writing, just to make sure that you aren't rushing through it. You want to highlight facts that could trigger certain legal issues. For example, you might notice intoxication, broken contracts, threats of violence, and other little details like that. As you find those details, highlight them and build them into your answer plan. You see, strong legal writing is all about precision. So the more attention to detail that you're going to display in your exam, the stronger your answer is going to be. Now, mistake number 3 is spending too long on one single issue in your exam and then running out of time. Exams are tight, and if you've got a question that realistically you can only give 10 minutes to and you spend 20 minutes on it, you're probably going to run out of time and not finish the exam overall. And the problem is, an unfinished answer means lost marks. Now, what you can do to avoid this is to use your reading time to plan your structure. Planning actually saves you time in an exam. So whilst you're planning, allocate yourself time depending on how many marks different questions are worth. So figure out what the total number of marks is in the exam, figure out the number of marks in each question, and figure out what percentage of the total time you can allow yourself on that particular question. So if it's a question that you can allow yourself 5 minutes on negligence, the chances are you don't need to be writing 10 paragraphs on it. Make sure you prioritize clarity and not quantity. And taking the time to plan your answer is going to help you to make sure you don't spend too much time on one question and miss out on the others. So to sum up, number 1, don't just describe the law, apply it. Number 2, pay close attention to the actual facts in the scenario. And then number 3 is manage your time so you have time to cover every single issue in the exam. Now, if you can fix those 3 habits, your law exam performance could well shift dramatically. Now, if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more legal content and more exam tips like this.